Arsenal confirm huge change with shock exit, and Josh Kroenke revamp planned latest Arsenal news as Tim Lewis leaves his role as executive vice chair of the Gunners as the Emirates Stadium side shake up their board. Arsenal have announced a major boardroom revamp with long-serving Tim Lewis leaving his role as the club's executive vice chair. Lewis departs North London, having been a trusted advisor of the Kroenke family for nearly 2 decades. The 62-year-old has advised Kroenke Sports and Entertainment since 2007 and was appointed as an Arsenal director in September 2020. Lewis was then promoted to executive vice chair in March 2023. Richard Garlick will become the club's chief executive officer, while Kelly Blaha and Otto Maley have both joined the board as non-executive directors alongside longtime KSE advisor Dave Steiner. Producer and director Ben Winston has also been appointed as a non-executive director. A statement from Josh Kroenke read, "We are delighted to promote Rich to CEO after an incredibly successful period as managing director of Arsenal. Rich has made an enormous impact on all fronts as we continue to strive to win major trophies, be financially sustainable, and put our supporters at the heart of everything. At this moment, we would like to thank Tim for his continued dedication and commitment to Arsenal in a period of transformational change for the club. He has played a pivotal role and ensured we are in a great position to continue to deliver our strategy in our ambition to win major trophies. In keeping with our desire to always move forward, we will strengthen our board with some exciting additions who will bring vast experience to the club across a wide range of professions. The group know and love Arsenal and will bring a different skill set and expertise while injecting fresh thinking and energy to support us all to achieve our ambitions." Lewis has advised Stan Kroenke since 2007, a period which included his initial investment into the club. Kroenke purchased a 9.9% stake from ITV plc in 2007. Lewis had reportedly built a strong relationship with current boss Mikel Arteta, and was crucial in the Spanish coach signing a new contract in 2022. He has also become increasingly prominent among Premier League chiefs. Lewis has reportedly been vocal in his opposition to takeovers linked to nation-states, while he is a huge supporter of the financial fair play rules currently employed by the top flight. Arsenal have enjoyed a positive start to the new season, despite the overhaul behind the scenes. They sit second in the Premier League after winning 3 out of their opening 4 games of the campaign. That positive start comes after a summer in which Arsenal invested heavily on transfers. The North London side spent around £250 million on new players throughout the transfer window, an amount that includes the £60 million addition of Eberechi Eze. Lewis apparently played a key role in that deal, using his close relationship with Steve Parish to get a deal over the line. Arsenal's summer transfer window, seen in new light as early injury crisis strikes Mikel Arteta, is already seeing the benefits of Arsenal's work in the summer transfer window, with new additions Noni Madueke, Victor Gyökeres, Eberechi Eze and Christian Mosquera making an impact. Arsenal supporters have praised their newly acquired squad depth and believe a successful summer transfer window could make the difference in the title race. The Gunners were extremely busy in the market, bringing in 8 new players to strengthen Mikel Arteta's squad. Arsenal have not won the Premier League since their famous Invincibles side of 2003/04 went the whole campaign unbeaten under Arsene Wenger. They have finished second in 3 successive seasons under Arteta, but there is optimism that this time could be different. The club signed Kepa Arrizabalaga, Martin Zubimendi, Christian Norgard, Noni Madueke, Christian Mosquera, Victor Gyökeres, Eberechi Eze and Piero Hincapié at a cost of around £260 million in the summer, with Hincapié on loan and his £45 million permanent fee delayed until next summer. New sporting director Andrea Berta was a busy man in his first transfer window with the club, moving on a further 12 senior first-team players. The importance of the new additions has been evident already this season, with injuries hitting Arteta's squad. Key players Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard and William Saliba have all been absent for parts of the season so far. But Arteta has been able to call upon Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze and Mosquera as replacements without performances dropping. Arsenal have opened their campaign with 3 wins and 1 defeat in the Premier League, and also began the Champions League group stage with a 2-0 win over Athletic Club. The trip to the Basque Country saw Gabriel Martinelli and Leandro Trossard make the difference off the bench, inspiring some delighted comments from supporters on Reddit. Genuinely the most stacked Arsenal squad. This is what we've needed in the last 3 years, one fan wrote. Another added, I've been a fan since the late 90s, and this is easily the deepest squad we've ever had. Been super impressed with how we've coped. But if we want to win anything big, we'll need Havertz, Saka, Saliba and Odegaard fit for big chunks of the season, another noted. Another concluded, the depth we have now is a complete game changer. Having genuine game winners like Martinelli and Trossard to bring on is a luxury we've never had before. It feels like we've finally closed that gap with the clubs who've had this advantage for years. This kind of squad power is exactly what wins you titles in the long run. Arteta was delighted with the impact of his substitutes on Tuesday night and emphasised the importance of squad depth post-match. That they are at least equally important, or more important. We have discussed that the finishers are going to be more important this season, sometimes more than the starters, he said. We can change the game there, especially with the intensity that we play, especially when the team starts to drop off, and I'm very pleased to see that. Piero comes in and plays 6 minutes, the first 6 minutes he's played, and Christian is the same. That's the attitude I want from all of us. Arsenal's depth will be tested once again when they take on Manchester City in the Premier League this weekend. Saliba is expected to return, having made the bench on Tuesday, but Saka and Havertz will still be sidelined. Odegaard should be in contention to return from his shoulder injury. Eberechi Eze ripped apart as Arsenal teammate did more in 5 minutes. Eberechi Eze struggled to have an impact during Arsenal's win over Athletic Bilbao before the man who replaced him, Gabriel Martinelli, changed the Champions League match from the bench. Eberechi Eze has been told his level will have to jump up after an underwhelming Champions League debut for Arsenal. Steve McManaman called out the new signing, who was outshone by Gabriel Martinelli when he came on. Mikel Arteta's side began their European campaign with a 2-0 win at Athletic Bilbao, owing to goals from 2 of their substitutes. Martinelli needed just a minute to make an impact when he came on in the 70th minute, replacing Eze. The Brazilian scored the opener before Leandro Trossard made the game safe late on. Eze was making just his second Arsenal start, having played against Nottingham Forest at the weekend. He made his debut off the bench at Liverpool several weeks ago, but has been warned he will need to get used to better opponents now he's left Crystal Palace. McManaman told TNT Sports Martinelli did more in 5 minutes than Eze did in 70 minutes. Eze will watch that performance tonight when he goes back and say, this is a different class of opposition. They're quicker, stronger than he faced in the Premier League with Crystal Palace, and he knows his level will have to jump up. You're now playing big boy football in the Champions League. If you want to compete, you have to be quicker. You have to be better than he showed tonight. Eze was very much the leading light at Palace, helping them win the FA Cup and the Community Shield in 2025. At Arsenal, his quality complements a number of other stellar names, and Arteta is still finding out how best to use his summer signing. Martin Odegaard has commanded the role of the team's playmaker, but is set for a spell on the sidelines, potentially allowing for someone to step up in a central position. Out wide, Arsenal have the likes of Martinelli, Eze, Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke to pick from. It has increased the competition, but Arteta maintained that those who come off the bench have as big a role to play as those starting this season. Martinelli's form has been up and down for months, but his boss was thrilled to see him produce the perfect response en route to being named the player of the match. He said, I was sure that Gabi was going to react like that. He raised the level to Gabi and he was going to do that. He has such a mentality. He's a player that is constantly willing to learn and improve himself, very demanding with himself. That's the moment that hopefully is going to give him the confidence again to go, because he's done a stunning play. Mikel Arteta given sack warning as former Gunners transfer chief finds new club. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal will return to domestic action against Manchester City on Sunday after opening their Champions League campaign away to Athletic Bilbao on Tuesday. Arsenal began their Champions League campaign against Athletic Bilbao on Tuesday night, but attention will soon turn back to the Premier League. Mikel Arteta's side looked sharp in their victory over Nottingham Forest last Saturday and have the joint best defence